Question 7 is a pure question on surds. So if you compare 7A and 7B, both are surds. But 7A looks quite manageable, but 7B is quite intimidating. Okay, so if you want to recall your surds, so it should be something on simplification. For the simplification, that means we try to make these numbers small. So there's actually 4 rules for simplification. And then there's also this idea about rationalization. So you got to get rid of the surds in the denominator. But it's only in the denominator. So there are 2 methods for the rationalization. So if you're not so sure, let me know. Okay, I can show you the video on the simplification part about the 4 rules and the rationalization part on the 2 methods. So it will fall under, so this part, it will fall under simplification. So this part, it will fall under the rationalization. So to me, I will have 2 components. So if I'm going to simplify this, I should be using the formula, the expansion formula. So I should be using the set 2 formula. So you work it out, you will be getting this. It will be good to check whether you simplify correctly or not by punching this on your calculator and also punching this on your calculator, just to make sure that your expansion is correct. As for the rationalization part, we are doing it with the second method. We multiply by the conjugate of the denominator. So if you never heard of the word conjugate, it's okay. So it just means that if this is a minus, you rationalize with the positive section. So when you do the rationalization, you do a numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So in the denominator part, it will symbolize the a square minus, it will symbolize one of your set 2 formula, the a plus b, a minus b. So that is the technique of the rationalization. We make use of the a square minus b square. So I'll be getting a 3 square minus root 7 square. So if you apply it, right, you should get a nice number. So in this case, I get a 2. Then you do your simplification. So all in all, you will be getting something like 12 plus 4 root 7. So eventually, if you're going to answer the question, you take the first simplification part. So you got to take the first simplification part to subtract away the rationalized part. Subtract with a bracket, or else your answer will be wrong. So part A simply tests you on simplification and rationalization. You combine them with a subtraction. Part B looks very complex. Your job is to find the value K, meaning you actually got to reduce the whole thing, reduce them successfully until you get something like a number with K. So, okay, I will tell you the answer first. My answer will be something like this. So that will be my K. But how are you going to reduce such a big thing? So how are you going to reduce such a big thing? So you got to bear in mind the simplification and the rationalization. So I will just give you the hint, then you get on the drawing. And in fact, there's a bracket. So you might want to open up the bracket. You might want to open up the bracket. So of course you need to open up the bracket, but the issue will be, would you want to simplify first? Then you open up the bracket. Okay. How are you going to simplify? So for example, which are the ones that qualify for rationalization? These qualify for rationalization. These qualify for rationalization because they are surds in the denominator. Okay, these also qualify for rationalization because there is a surd in the denominator. But the surd is very big. You realize that the surd is very big. So you need to simplify your surd first. So you simplify the denominator first. That will simplify the fraction. Then you go for the rationalize. Okay, so there are the other two that you need to rationalize. And what about this situation? So this situation, there is no surds in the denominator. So all I can do is to simplify. So all I can do is to simplify, which get me to 2 root 10 over 5, which essentially is 2 over 5 root 10. So you can think about rationalizing first, then you expand out the bracket. Or you might want to expand out first, then you do the rationalization or whatever. You give it a try. So you can check out my working, but this is a hint for you to get along. My whole idea when you approach surds will be always think of the component that should justify simplification. Think of the component that should justify the rationalization. So these are the two main things. So you give it a try. If you need to recap the 4 basic rules and the 2 methods in rationalization before you can complete this question, you let me know. Okay, I send a separate video on that basic idea.